there we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Tell Me More with me, Tony Moore. If you haven't already tuned into my previous episodes with Shangela from RuPaul's Drag Race, Andrew Perozzi from Frozen's musical on Broadway, make sure you check those out. It has been a lovely day of kikis and conversations, and this one will be no exception. I am glad to have a chat with someone that I find very beautiful inside and out. She's an extraordinary makeup artist, and just an amazing person. Like, I met her years ago, and like, you can't help but to fall in love with her. So we're going to talk all things beauty. So let me welcome in this Lipsticknick, or Nicole, as I go back and forth. I always say Lipsticknick or I say Nicole. Depends on the day. Oh,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm good, Boo. How are you?
I'm so good. Look at you. You look so pretty.
Oh, thanks. I just did a live with Morphe on their Instagram doing like a live eyebrow tutorial.
Oh, I saw that. Let me see. They look good, girl.
Thanks, Boo. You know, I don't have eyebrows, so I had to walk them through the whole thing.
I saw, when I tell you, I gagged. I was like, oh, what happened to her eyebrow?
What happened? I know. I just overplucked when I was younger, and they never grew back. So, yeah, I just had to show the kids how I do my brows. You
know. Well, thank you for sitting and chatting with me. You know, I absolutely adore you, and I love everything that you do. And I'm so super like happy for you and proud of you because like, you're just so cool and humble and down to earth, and you're so good at what you do that, like, I'm just happy that, you know, before Rona, things were, you know, popping. They're still popping. So
still popping. They're gonna still be popping after. But yeah, it's like, it's definitely hard, especially this being my first full. It hasn't even been a full year since I've owned my business, and it's like, for something like, I mean, nobody could ever have predicted it, and I know everyone's affected, but it's just. Yeah, it's scary, like the whole thing, to think about small business owners and just, you know, I don't know, people in general. Yeah. It's just really scary. But thank you. I appreciate you saying that. I know we've been friends for like so many years, and I really have a lot of respect for you. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, before we talk about Pout Beauty Bar, which I love, I walked in grand opening and I was looking around like, this is everything. This is so her. It's also so needed. But let's start at the beginning, because I don't even think I know this. Like, where did your love of makeup and wanting to get into this business come from? Like, where did it start?
Well, it's actually funny because when I first started, like kind of tapping more into art, it was drawing. Like, I just would draw all the time. And I thought I was going to become a tattoo artist. So I would just draw, and actually a couple people got the tattoos that I drew for them. So it was funny. Like, I'm sorry about that. They were horrible, like, now looking back. But yeah, just in high school, I was drawing all the time and constantly just like looking up, you know, inspo images of random cartoon. I like to do like cartoon, like realism stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll be like a cartoon version of an object or a thing or something. And I loved kind of just how like wild and crazy, if you can't tell, I love graffiti. So yeah, and then people started asking me at school to do their makeup, like for dances and things like that. And so I remember I was telling this story earlier actually to one of my new coworkers. We had like a little kiki just to kind of get to know each other. And she was like, where did this all start? And for me, I didn't really start getting into makeup for like vanity purposes. I didn't really care. Like, I didn't do it to like feel prettier. I just like liked that it was like paint, kind of, that you could like paint on your face in a way. Like
the face is a canvas.
Yeah, I totally look at it, and that's how I still look at it, which is why like I don't do a ton of just, you know, basic glam, I guess, like for clients anymore. I used to, but now it just doesn't like satisfy me artistically. So you know, I don't want to just do things for people so they like just feel hot. Like, I want to do something that's like art, like that makes them feel like art. So, anyway, yeah, in high school people would just ask me to do their makeup all the time, and I would say yeah, just because I liked it. And then I eventually would have like 10 to 15 people in my living room, and my dad was like, you need to start charging people. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't want to make it weird. Like, I just want to, like, just do it. Like, I don't know. I don't want to charge them. They're not going to pay for it. Like, I'm just like their friend, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, no, they need their makeup done for these dances. And they're obviously, like, you know, asking you. So I'll never forget, like, my dad was a business owner, and, like, we don't talk anymore. But, like, he used to tell me all the time that, like, if you treat it like a hobby, it will stay a hobby. And if you treat it like a business, it will become a business. So that always stuck with me. And I think about that anytime I want to, like, do any kind of new endeavor, like new entrepreneurial, like, chapter. I'm like, okay, like, so I need to do it the right way. Like, I need to invest correctly. Like, I need to get the right equipment. I need to, you know, do this. And so I did. And I went out and I got my first makeup chair, and I got a makeup brush set online, and I got, like, all what I could at the time. This was like 2008, you know, so it's like, there wasn't, like, as many options as there are now. But yeah, I started charging and people were paying it. So I got my first taste of, like, oh, I can actually just get paid to do something that I love. And I didn't know that that was even, like, an option. Because I'm from, like, a small hometown. My hometown's Corona, California. It's like Riverside. But it's like,
not Corona, California.
Yes, the IE. It's like the land of lifted trucks and, like, high socks and, like, angsty rock music. It's not, like, you know, it just wasn't, like, urban. There was no, like, culture really. Like, so I didn't know, like, all of these other opportunities for artistic careers. Like, I feel like a lot of people, then once you get older, you're like, oh wow, you can be, like, a producer of a photo shoot, or you can be, like, a background singer for, like, you know, all these huge artists. Like, there's all these, like, kind of cool weird jobs that you don't really know exist. But yeah, so then I just, like, fell in love with it, and I just wanted to keep doing it. So I went to makeup school, and then from there I graduated, and then just started working on a lot of, like, TV and film. And yeah, for me, it just wasn't, again, it wasn't that, like, artistically satisfying, because most film and TV makeup is, like, so natural. It's like, let me just put clear powder on you, you know? And that just wasn't, like, giving it to me. Like, I needed, like, I wanted to do, like, drag makeup and, like, crazy, like, changing the features of the face and, like, gluing shit on your face and stuff. So I was like, okay, what else can I do? So I started working with influencers. I started working at MAC, and then yeah, I guess I don't know, I just kept meeting people who would introduce me to other people, and I just kind of became, like, the go-to person. And then that's when I met Todrick. Who is how we met. That's how me and he met. So, yeah, I don't know, it's just been crazy. I feel really lucky, because I just keep going, like, getting opportunities and meeting, like, really powerful people that like have my back, and then they just kind of help push me or guide me into this direction, or they just introduce me to someone, and then that kind of leads me to the next chapter of my life. So it's been just, like, a weird, like, word of, you know how it is, it's just like that's the industry, like, it's all just word of mouth, and people start to you know, see what you do and what you're all about. And I think, like, one thing for me is that I always, like, wanted to be open. So even if I didn't know how to do something, I would just figure it out, or try at least. And that's, like, been a big piece of feedback that I've been told from, like, producers or directors or whoever's hiring me. They're like, I just love how, like, you have, like, a positive attitude, and you're gonna, like, figure it out. And I just kind of have always been like that. You know, of course I have my moments where I complain, but it's like, it's all internal, but I don't, like, put that out, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that's kind of, like, where I guess my love for it started. But it's always been kind of crazy makeups. You know this, like, you know, my specialty. Like, people don't come to me for, like, a no makeup. They come to me for, like, a special moment kind of a thing.
The extras of it all. The extravaganza.
The extravaganza. And I like that. Like, I love that. I think that's really cool. But it also is, like, kind of a lot of pressure, because you know that they're coming to you for, like, the Emmys or something, you know what I mean? It's like a big moment. So it's not like, oh, I can just, whatever, we'll see how it goes. It's like, oh shit, no, I gotta, like, nail this, you know?
Yes, Todrick, going back, Todrick is how we met, because the first time we met, I had you on the after show at AfterBuzz for the Todrick show, when it was on MTV. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's so nice and so cool. And, like, we clicked right then, and I was like, the makeup that you were doing for Todrick was just, like, out of this world, like, just so good and so crazy. And so, and I like that you look at makeup from that aspect of, like, creativeness, and not just about, like, beauty, you know what I mean? Because I feel like some people look at it from that aspect of like, you know, makeup is important because it's to hide, cover up, you know, make me
Yeah.
feel, you know, and I like that you find it more of a creative outlet, you know, for it to look at it from a different POV. So
Yeah, and I appreciate you saying that too because like I mean I don't know about you, I know that you will agree, but like some of the most like beautiful people are like not, you know what I mean? So it's like
yeah,
when people say like you work in beauty, I'm like, you know, I work in makeup. You know what I mean? I just like don't even like to say beauty, like even though I know I work for a beauty brand and I do work, I technically I guess, but it's like who's to say like why what's beautiful, like what to me I like certain things that might not be beautiful to other people, or like oh this is like my definition of beauty. Like some people hate
yeah,
graffiti or they would hate to have this in their house, but it's like it's just certain things. So I think yeah, I've never like wanted to lean on it in a sense of like I only feel pretty with makeup on. Like I'm
yeah,
just not that girl. Like I don't really ever wear makeup unless I have to. Like I just don't like to, but because I just like I just like to have a fresh face. That's just me. That's what I think is beautiful now at this stage in my life as a 28-year-old woman. Like
yeah.
I've worn tons of makeup for years and constantly trying new things and smoky eyes and drag makeup, and it's like it's just so much makeup that I'm kind of like when I don't have to, I don't want to anymore. You know?
Oh, yeah. I can only imagine like having to put on a face every day. Like, luckily, I wake up like this. Like, I don't need nothing. Like, I
Your
just go.
skin, I'm mad at you for your skin because it's so even and perfect, and that highlight is hitting you just right.
Thank you. You know what? This is nothing but Dove and Vaseline lotion. That's it.
Oh my gosh! Wait, are you one of those guys? Can you show me how you wash your face in the shower? What do you use when you wash your face in the shower?
I use a rag.
What is going on? Okay, I'm just watching Love Island.
Yeah.
Do you watch Love Island?
No, I've seen it, but I haven't like
It's so
I
good.
don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's this guy in there named Ovi. He's like a British, like a UK like basketball player. He's so fine.
Yeah.
And but it's funny because when he's in the shower, he has this huge loofah and he just puts the soap on it, like the body soap, and he just
Yeah.
is like rubbing his face and he's like just scrubbing and rubbing. And I'm like, is this how guys take showers? Like, I guess it's been a minute since I watched a guy take a shower, but I'm like, what's going on? Like, that's not, but, and then now I'm just asking all my guy friends, they're like, yeah, just like whatever rag I have, I'll just like do that. I'm like, is that
Yeah. That's it. Like I use Dove body wash, the sensitive skin,
okay?
and I wash my face, you know, and then, you know, take it off, and then afterwards I go and put lotion on. That's it.
Just regular lotion.
Yeah, just regular Vaseline lotion.
I hate you. I'm so mad at you.
Listen, my mom will take all the credit for this. She's like, you got everything from me. And I'm like, all right, fine.
Oh, whatever. It works. Thanks, mama.
I think I get it from my mama. What is, to this point, your one like creative thing or face that you did that you're like, that one is like my favorite one because it was so unexpected. I couldn't believe I did that and it came out so good. And it's like you feel like it's like the most creative thing that you put on someone.
Oof, that's hard.
Because there's so many. I mean, just even in the Todrick file, like you go
I
through
know,
that.
that's why I'm like, what section of my life am I gonna pull from right now? I think I would honestly say, looking back, I'm not super like I know that I could do better now, obviously, like as far as application, but for that time of my life and for the conditions,
Yeah.
I really loved Nicki Minaj.
Mm.
The one that Todrick did.
Yeah.
It's basically him, but he's playing four. So it was all shot in one day.
Yeah.
And it was 4 drag versions of him as Disney princesses, 4
Yeah.
Disney princesses. And then in the same video, we shot another 4 looks of him being villains, Disney
Yeah.
villains. So it was 8 drag makeups in one night. And I had to do other people for the video. And we were filming a different video. So I kept having to switch back and forth. And it was like, we shot for like, I want to say like 30 something hours straight.
Oh my gosh.
It was like in those guerrilla style shoot days where it was just like
Yeah.
he was going out of town and he was like, I want to film like 4 videos before I leave, kind of a thing. And I just like stayed posted up at his house, like my kit was out, and I just was like pumping out makeups. And I remember we worked up until the sun came out. It was like all day, like 6 a.m. call time. We worked all the way till like 9 a.m. the next day or
My
something.
gosh.
And it was just crazy. And I actually had a flight out because I was at the time I was like had a gig in some other state or something. So I had another kit that was pre-packed with a bag of clothes, just a backpack with clothes. You know, I travel light. I'm like,
Yeah.
I hate lots of bags and shit. I'm like, I just want like easy stuff. So I remember being so tired and I was like, I have to leave right now. I'm going to miss my flight. And then I remember getting to the airport and I was like, I have been up for like 30 hours. I just did like 9 or 10 drag makeups. Like,
Yeah.
and so to me, like that video is really special because it just like showed me that like I can literally do anything. Like and you know, he'll push you like, and he's like a huge part of like why I feel like I'm so fast now with like makeups.
Yeah.
But he would always push me and challenge me creatively and be like, oh, we want this. Like, I want to be all purple. And then you need to take it off and do me all green in like 45 minutes or something. And it's just like, it was always such a challenge. And like, it like totally helped push me and grow me. So I think for me, that was probably one of the, and it's not even like the makeup is that great or anything, but it just like, just to me, it meant a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a process when, let's say I came to you and I said, I want to be the male version of Ursula. Can you make me that? Like, what is your thought process as far as like you look at someone's face? Do you like kind of map it out? Like, what are the steps that you do to apply someone's vision?
Yeah. I think I try to ask a lot of questions like, you know, do you want to be super like femme or is it something where, you know, what like what's your current like what do you currently look like and like how your personal style and then like how far do you want to push it from that?
Yeah.
So I just try to ask a lot of questions as far as like getting really specific because I feel like at this point in my life I've done a lot of characters. And I've done a lot of like male to female transformations and female to male transformations and like things like that. So I'm just kind of like, okay, like I kind of know what questions to ask now. But I feel like the internet is such a beautiful place. So I just will Google things sometimes. And sometimes a bunch of stuff will pop up, but it's a good starting point for me mentally to see like, how did other people portray the same like character or the same like vision, even if it's kind of kooky and like off the wall. It's like someone out there has probably thought about it or done a version of something like this. So it's kind of like a good kickoff point, but I just also want to see what other people do so that I can take it a different direction. But it's just sometimes nice to even have some kind of visual to then, even if it's like not necessarily exactly what they want, but for me to go back and be like, here's something like what you're talking about. What do you not like and what do you like about this? And then I can like take it and create my own kind of character. But I guess it's just a lot of questions and like really trying to dive deep as far as like, what's the goal here? Like, is it funny? Is it supposed to be realistic? Is it, you know, how far do you want to reach and like kind of push for it? So.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's just like the way that you explain it, it really just shows the artistry of it rather than just like someone comes in and they just sit and you just da, 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 da. Like there's you really do treat this like such an art form and that's why you're so good at what you do and why people appreciate what you do and why, you know, when I was at Pout that one night getting my makeup done, that there were all these people in there, you know, wanting to learn from you because I do feel like, you know, like I said earlier, it goes beyond beauty. Like it's such another artistic art form that it's great to see someone take it so seriously like you do. So so it all makes sense as to why, you know, you're so great and so in demand. And I hope that you realize like you are like super talented. Like, you know, there's people have certain gifts and I think this is yours. So
thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, that was my little moment. Sorry.
So sweet. Oh my God. Also, I see that Scotty is in here. Hi, Scotty.
Oh, hi, Scott. I talked to I talked to the singer Vincent last week, and Scott was in there. So hi, Scott. I haven't seen Scott in like forever. So that's another
I
busybody.
saw him like a couple weeks ago because our friend Esther, she had her baby shower. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was really fun. It was really nice.
Oh. So I know you also do body paint as well.
Yeah, not so much anymore, just purely because I mean, I just haven't made the time for it. I don't want to say I don't have time for it because that's not true. I think you can always make time for something, but
Yeah.
I just haven't made the time for it lately. Except I did do. Remember when Megan Thee Stallion just recently came out with that song "Bitch"?
Mm-hmm.
I did do like a T-shirt with like the logo on it on my friend just for fun. Because I was like
Yeah.
feeling really inspired that week, and I just like had to pick up a paintbrush. I was
Yeah.
like, I have to do something. So, and I had so much fun. Like I ended up painting for like 4 hours. It was just like so nice. So with like the times that I get to do that, it just makes me feel like I'm just like Nicole, like just an artist. Like I don't have to have a purpose, or like I feel like now when I do makeup, it's always for something,
Yeah.
because every day there's something to do. Or well, not so much now that like we're quarantined, but like
Yeah.
it was like, okay, Monday is this campaign for this, and then like Tuesday I have to go to Jeffrey's and do this other huge campaign, and it's like it's also like high pressure and like high like I have to use a certain palette like with these blue shades or like whatever. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's all for a purpose, but like the time I need to make more time to just not have a plan or or you know what I mean, like who cares what colors I use, like I just need to like make more time for that for
Yeah.
myself as an artist, because I think it's like if someone puts you in a box and is like, oh, we have this character for you, but like we only want you to do this, or like this song has to be this genre, and you're like, okay, or like it kind of
Yeah.
puts you in like a creative box. So I think yeah, I'm constantly like I keep saying like I need to make more time for it, but honestly, like even having Pout, like it really makes me so happy because I can live kind of through my artists, and they're always pushing their limits and doing new weird crazy things for no reason, just for fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm always like, take advantage of this time, because eventually you guys are going to get so busy that you'll have to make time for that, and then that will by that point you're going to be so makeuped out. Some weeks are like that. You're just I'm makeuped
Yeah.
out, like like I don't know, I just don't want to look at another damn product. But then it's like
It's
I have
like
to take a second, and then I'm always inspired by like products now, because I do so much campaign work that really, if someone shows me like, this is the packaging, like this is the vibe, I'm like, okay, cool. Like I like packaging, I like storytelling, like that kind of like makes me happy, because then I'm like, it's deeper than just like make me look pretty. It's like, okay, we need to, like it's the summer collection or like whatever it is. I'm like, okay, I'm like getting there like mentally. So yeah, it's cool. I like when like products tell stories, I guess.
So how do because you are so busy, you are busy. Like I feel like I blink and like you've been to like 10 different cities, doing like 10 different
Honestly,
things.
not recently. I've been like pretty chilled, like just home recently. So that's been
Yeah.
nice. But before, it was like every weekend was in a different city for like between store openings for Morphe and like out of town gigs or like trade shows or appearances with myself or one of my clients. It's like it was kind of crazy for a long time, and I was on tour with Pentatonics for those 2 years, and that
Yeah.
was like so much fun. But you're just literally living out of a suitcase for so long. It's like crazy, but yeah, so much fun. But it's been nice to just have a couple months of where I can be kind of grounded and like rooted and
Yeah.
get like a normal routine here, because I didn't have a routine for a while, and it started to give me anxiety. It was like, oh, every day is just like up in the air. So
Yeah.
it's kind of nice to have like just have that time and like hang out with my friends and see my family more. I didn't really get to see my family ever, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's been really really great.
But what do you do for yourself to kind of rejuvenate, recenter, and especially during those like because you do come from an artist standpoint, and like you have this campaign and that campaign. Like, what do you do for yourself to just kind of recenter and re-energize yourself when you have a second?
Yeah, I mean, I try to find that second at the end of every day. I try to like get centered and grounded. So I'll either just like you know, eat dinner, like make myself like dinner and stuff and just kind of like eat in silence, like, but just by myself. So I can just like process the day, like, you know, think about like what happened that day and like just kind of recap with myself.
Yeah.
Or just like decompress. I used to get a lot of massages, which I'm like, I'm that's really hard right now because I know that we can't do that in this current state of the world, but
Yeah.
it's so hard because I'm still working out like 5 days a week. I started working out. That's like been the biggest thing for me is just feeling healthier and like feeling my age instead of feeling like I realize now, like when I first started, I always would be like, I'm not ready. I don't have enough time. I'm already tired. And it's like, I was tired because I was unhealthy and my body hurt because I was unhealthy. So it's like, it just really, I just made the decision one day. I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to fucking go to the gym in the morning. And so then I got my trainer and now Kaylee's my trainer. And so we still train 5 days a week or 4 days a week, but sometimes 5. And we've been having to do virtual sessions, but that honestly is like, the best way for me to like have that time in the morning by myself, start my day right. I already feel like I accomplished something, so I'm like in a positive mindset, and I'm always like I have energy after I work out, and I'm eating better. I'm on a meal plan, so it's been really nice. But yeah, I guess massages and just like taking like long showers. Like I don't know, I just like to be like alone and just like just no music or anything. I'm just kind of like unwinding, but I do try to make time to just like chill with like some of my like really chill friends that they don't necessarily want to ask me anything or talk about anything career. They're just like, you know,
they just want to be around you.
Like it's just that like time where you can kind of hang out with someone, like don't have to talk really. That's like my favorite type of friend to unwind with. So I also smoke marijuana, so it's been great. It's been really helping. But I used to like not smoke that much, and then now I maybe smoke like a few times a week, but it is like a really great for days that my body really hurts or you know, I'm just kind of like I just want to like relax if I just like feel a lot of pressure or stress or something. So it definitely helps with my anxiety for sure.
Whose face would you like to get a hold of and like just do something with? Like you look at that person, you're like, if I could just have your face for a couple of hours, I want to make magic with you.
I would say, okay, so my all-time is RuPaul, of course.
Yes.
Raven's doing a fabulous, beautiful job, stunning, amazing. I just would want to do it just to do it, you know? It's just like on my bucket list of people whose faces I want to touch, but I would probably be so nervous. And it's so I don't know why Ru just always makes me nervous, but
because it's okay. Like I remember the first time I was in the presence of Ru.
It's like I was nervous. Feel it. It's like oh, shit.
It's like hello, RuPaul.
I can never speak. Like words don't come out, and I was like, "Hey Nick," like on set, he's like, "Hey Nicole, how are you?" I'm like, "Good." Like I all of a sudden have like no personality, and Michelle's like, "You're so weird." I'm like, I don't know. I just can't keep my shit together. I'm not cool around him. I just can't.
I think it's because we see him in such this like mother of drag and the popularity of Drag Race and he when he comes into a room, there's a presence that he has, and I remember I was like you, like it was hard to like maybe say anything, so you just kind of listen.
Yeah, I'm like, what do I say? Like, I don't even want to talk, but I like don't know what to say. Like,
right. But then after a while, you just go, oh, okay, because sometimes the room will be like, oh, hey, Tony. I'm like, oh, hey. I remember the first time when he was like, Tony, I was like,
he's really good with names. I will say that.
He's so good with names. I'm so bad with names. I'm
too. Oh my God, I'm the worst.
The worst. But that would be a good one.
Yeah. Or Megan Thee Stallion. I know she can beat the shit out of her own face, but she just has like all this eye space and like she loves a good full beat. So I would love to just like go in because I see like what she's trying to do, like what she's doing with her face, and I'm like, oh, okay, let's go. Then it makes me like want to like really just like take it there. But I think she would have fun too because she seems like a character, like in a lot of ways, like she's down for like the fantasy and like the moment.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I would definitely want to do that.
Is there any like part that you really like doing? Like you really like doing the eyes, or you really like doing a good lip, or you really like, like I don't know what this is, like the cheekbones and all that.
Yeah.
Like, is there something that you're like, ooh, this is
Yeah,
my
I
jam?
think contouring is like probably one of my favorites, and then eyes, of course, just because there's so many things you can do. Um,
Yeah,
but I will say the moment that I do like a lash or like lashes and liner, like those finishing touches, it's like I love that part because it's you really see like everything come together and they like get excited too. It's like the cherry on top of the whole eye, you know?
yeah,
So that for me is like always a really special moment because then they're like, oh, because it doesn't, especially when you're doing like a really full out like eye, it needs that like balance of the lash. So until you put that on, it's like, you can't really fully get the vision. But yeah, that's one of my favorite parts for sure.
yeah. I know a lot of people have questions about like makeup and how to find what works for you. And especially now with so many different types and so many different palettes and so many foundations and things like that. Like, are there any tips or suggestions that you can give to someone as far as like how to choose the best products that work for them?
I mean, yeah, there's so many now. I mean, it's so easy with like YouTube and stuff. I would say like try to find a YouTuber, anyone, a beauty guru of any kind that looks similar to you, whether that's complexion or your personal style or whatever it is, but whatever you're trying to accomplish, and then just see what products they're using as a good starting point. And I mean, there's like hours of explanation. So it's like if you really just want to like chill, unwind, and like watch something and watch someone that has a similar face shape or similar complexion or similar hair color or whatever it is, just so you can kind of like get a starting point. But I think too, I think a lot of times people are so afraid to try new things
Yeah.
and they get caught in like their with their makeup habits, like their current makeup routine.
Hmm.
So I'm like a huge advocate for like stepping out of your box and like trying something new, especially with like the situation we're in right now in quarantine. Like you don't even have to wear it out. Like just put it
Yeah.
on, you know? Like if you've ever wanted to just try shit, like now is the best time, you know? So it's like, yeah, just try it. And if you're like a guy who wants to wear makeup for the first time, or if you're like a girl who wants to like up her makeup game or whatever, like I just feel like right now is such a cool time to experiment, and it's not a cool time, but it's a good time to experiment with things because we can't go anywhere. So it's like you don't have to commit to that fear of maybe like wearing things out in public that you're not
Yeah.
comfortable, if it's like a neon eyeliner or if it's like something that's kind of crazy or like a little bit
Yeah.
different that you're like, I've always wanted to try like a smoky eye but I suck. It's like, well, try it 3 times in one day, and I guarantee by the end of the day you're going to be better. The third one's going to be better than the first one, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's just practicing and like not being afraid to step out of your box and find a trend, a photo that you like on Instagram, and just be like, I'm gonna do that. Like I want to try that today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any any suggestions on like makeup to use, like even if you're just starting out, or like if you're, or any suggestions on products that people should look
Um,
into? Does it always just depend on like
yeah, it just
skin
depends.
type and all that?
Yeah, I think it depends on like what you're trying to do with it. If like for example, if you and what's your budget? Like I don't, it totally just depends, but I'm a huge like advocate as well for like it's not so much how much things cost, it's what you can do with it.
Yeah.
So if your goal is to be a creative makeup artist, you're then going to have to buy a lot of products, right? Because you need to try things in crazy colors. So I would opt for something that's like high quality but inexpensive, like a
Yeah.
Morphe type of line.
Yeah.
Or if you're someone that's like, look, I don't wear that many products, I just kind of want to do like a natural beat, like then maybe you spend a little bit more on those like core 5 products. So it
Hmm.
just kind of depends on like your personal style, I guess, and kind of what's your goal with it. But at first I always recommend like just go for something, a line that is good quality, that's reliable, but that's not going to break your bank while you try things. And
Yeah.
then once you get like your staple stuff, then you can do some more research, like the best matte foundation or like the best BB cream or like whatever you need for your day-to-day life to feel good about what you're doing. But
Yeah.
you know, it's like if you want to do that crazy stuff like glitter liner and, you know, all these things, it's like, well, you got to kind of do some research, you know, Google it and see. Again,
Yeah.
like YouTube is like such a beautiful place, and guarantee you can find a million ways to apply whatever the trend or the technique is that you want to recreate.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that I am seeing is that because we have so much time on our hands, everybody now wants to start learning how to do their makeup, whether they are guys or girls. I've had like a couple of people who have said, "Oh, I'm gonna start like learning how to do makeup." What advice do you have for someone who's just getting started and maybe they don't know anything? Like, you know, what suggestion do you have on how to start? Because makeup can be very daunting, and there's so many things and aspects of it that you should know before diving into it. So, any
Yeah.
advice to those people?
Yeah, I think it's always best, like when you're trying anything for the first time or it's like kind of new, to maybe don't document it for other people. Like, just keep it for yourself, you know, but you should document it because you will be surprised. Like, and that's with my students. Like when you were here that night for my Monday night class,
Yeah.
I always tell them every week, sometimes they're not happy with the end result. And I'm like, take a picture anyway, because you're going to look back on this. So documenting every time you try, and take it thing by thing. So if it's like, I want to like better my eyebrows, if you think about doing your full face and your brows and your it's very daunting because you're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, so many steps. Like, but if you kind of break it apart, and I'm like really big on lists. So like I make like to-do lists for everything. So
Yeah.
it would be like, here's my face, and then break it out into like sections, and then be like, assign it to a weekday. Like
Yeah.
Monday, I'm going to get my foundation and my contour technique down. Like that's what
Yeah.
I'm going to do. And then Tuesday, I'm going to work on my eyebrows, and I'm going to try them 3 or 4 different ways and take pictures and see how do I look? Like, how do I
Yeah.
like it on myself, you know? So yeah, I think when you like kind of just make it make sense and like break it up into steps, and just keep taking pictures, because sometimes you think something looks good in person, or you might, you know, like it on Monday, but then on Friday you need again, you're like, this doesn't look the same. You need something to kind of like compare it to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think documenting it, but I again like do like have your own personal journey, and then once you feel, I think the biggest misconception, or like the thing that I personally don't really like to see, is when people don't necessarily know what they're talking about, or they're not pros on as far as like, you know, product, and then they try to give advice, and it's like
Yeah.
you're going to give misinformation, just like, you know. So I think just know what you're talking about before you try to like educate other people. But
Yes.
for yourself, it's like just try new stuff, you know. You can do no wrong. There's no right way to do anything.
Yeah.
But there is like certain information that you have to know about products in order to teach. But yeah, so I think, yeah, just document it and break it down into steps.
Someone asked, "What's your favorite foundation at this moment and highlight?"
Favorite foundation at this moment, I'm actually really loving the Huda Beauty foundation. I think I have it right here. Huda.
Mm-hmm.
And then my favorite, concealer or highlighter? And
Highlight.
oh God, I don't know the name, but it's by this brand called Illamasqua, and it's in the UK only, I believe. But it's really beautiful. I have it at home. I don't even know. I'm not even wearing it today, but it's they came by the shop. They came by Pout recently. These 2 like representatives from there, and they were like, "Oh, we're like in the area. We went to Nigel's Beauty Supply, and they might do something with them, I guess." And so, yeah, it was just really cool. But they gave me like a bunch of products, and one of them was highlighter, and it's like so blinding, but it's really thin, so it doesn't look like chunky or like glittery or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Speaking of Pout, I was again floored when I walked in, and again just overwhelmed with like just so happy for you and so proud and so glad that you established something. You established a need, because I feel like people just need a place to go to like get their makeup done, get their hair done, or even just come there and just have a space to do their makeup and stuff. What made you decide to step into this venture and this side of the business?
Well, I love to teach. I absolutely love it, and I
Yes.
love to mentor. So I
Yeah.
was really excited at the time because once I kind of like solidified the idea with my business partner, I was like, wow, this means I'm going to have like employees, but they're not just going to be my employees. They're going to be like makeup artists. They're their own person. Everyone has their own unique style. And that's like the thing I love about all of them. But
Mhm.
um, I think for me, it was like I wanted to create something that could touch more people than my two hands could. So
Yeah.
like, for me, I'm one person, and like I have obligations and things and a job and my own stuff and my own clients. So it was hard, and I kept having to turn down new clients that would reach out.
Hmm.
And even in my DMs, like it made me sad. Like I can't reply to everyone, and I also can't do everyone's wedding or their prom. But I was
Yeah.
like, okay, but if I open up a space where I can, take really great artists already naturally and kind of like help mentor them and show them my way, how I like to do things, and even just them being we organize stuff. That is just like so powerful artists. So like I didn't really have that. Like I had a few people that I would like assist, but not they weren't my mentor. You know what I mean? So I didn't really have that. So the thought of being that for someone and getting to be able to tell those people that reach out, oh, can you do my makeup for my wedding? It's like I can't, but I have a whole team that I have trained that are an extension of me in a way. So it's like,
Yeah.
and then to create a space that just felt cool, that felt like unisex, that felt like happy and like inspiring, because I like bright colors, but I just wanted it to be done in a way that felt not like cheap. You know what I mean? Like how can I
Yeah.
do it that feels like really cool and like fresh? And I just love graffiti so much. So I think the design really played into like the overall vibe of like when you walk in, how did I want people to feel? And I wanted it to be like impactful, but not like overwhelming. So I was like, okay, I'll keep everything else white and clean so it still feels like fresh, like a makeup studio, but then there'll be this like punchy pop wall where right when you walk in, you like see it. So I think, yeah, for me, it was definitely about it being like unisex too. Like I just wanted anyone to come in here, no matter what gender, like anything, just to come in and feel like, okay, I belong here. Like this is my
Yeah.
place. Like I love it here. And I mean, you see, we have like parties all the time, and it's just
Yeah.
like that's my favorite. I just love to like have a bunch of people over and like make them feel good. And so yeah, but I think the most like rewarding thing has been how much I care for my makeup artists, and like they're like literally my family now, and they like have been a part of this crazy like part of my life where I like started my first business. Like they were the ones that helped me. They are the business in a lot of ways. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just been really cool. It almost feels like I have children, and I always like call them my kids, and they call me mom. It's just like really cute. So Mama Lipstick. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really think I was ready to start a business. I think I just like wanted to do it. So then I like made myself ready. I didn't know the first thing about, like all of the procedures and the steps you need to take to have employees, and the employment lawyer, and like, certain things like that. So I'm lucky to have like such a strong business partner who does know some of those things, but we're also the type of people that like will figure it out. You know what I mean? So it was fun to get new challenges, and we pushed ourselves to do it all. We, from the beginning of the concept of Pout, of like, we want to open a beauty bar, to the grand opening was like 5.5 months. It was
Wow.
like very, very fast. It's like really, really fast. So, but we just worked night and day for like months on it, and it was so much fun. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was
I
crazy.
mean, people have to come to it because it's so warm, it's so inviting, it's so you that like, and it's a cool spot. Like it doesn't feel like stuffy or like you got to stick up your ass or anything like that. Like it feels like a really cool place to come and like
Yeah.
learn and like do stuff. And I've even seen in the comments a lot of people want to learn from you and want to take your class and things like that. Once this Rona thing, rolls over and goes through, are you going to pick back up with like the classes and the tour and everything like that?
Oh yeah, totally. So once we get the go ahead and it's all good, we're gonna obviously open Pout back up. Our 1 year anniversary will be in June. So I'm thinking hopefully we can do some sort of like reopening, anniversary or something, like a grand reopening anniversary type of deal. But yeah, I had my tour booked, and I was gonna do like another mini Lipsticknick tour. So we had just put the tickets on sale actually, and a lot of those dates are gonna have to shift. But definitely still want to do them. I love doing the classes. It's so much fun. So if you guys, I know there was a few people in here, but if you guys are interested in tour dates, I wouldn't go on my site just yet, but you can always look back in a few weeks or just email us, and then we'll keep you posted on everything.
Yeah. And then also, because you're busy and you add more stuff to your plate, you started the Pout After Dark podcast. And there's some episodes of what are the key keys that people can look forward to on there?
Well, that unfortunately has also had to come to a halt just because I don't want to introduce a bunch of new people, because we do it at Pout. So trying to keep, as many bodies like out of here as possible. It's really just me coming in and out. But yeah, it's been really cool to just like, I started it because I feel like so much of the time I hang out with my like fellow beauty peers and friends like only on set, and so we're like, we can chat and like kiki a little bit, but it's like I'm working, you know what I mean, we're all working, so it doesn't feel like we're just hanging out. And there's so many things that I guess I just don't know about my friends because it never comes up or anything like that. So I wanted to have like a space and a platform that I could just talk to people and like people that I love. And oh, thank you. Someone said I love Pout After Dark. I left a really long review. Thank you so much. Yeah, so it's really just like we film it at Pout, we record it at Pout After Dark, after hours, and there's no video, so people just come, no makeup. I just want everyone to feel comfortable. We turn all of the neon lights on. It's just pink light in here. It's like kind of vibey.
It is.
And yeah, it's just really, really fun. But I just like brought in some of my like celebrity hairstylist friends and makeup artists. I interview some of my Pout artists and like stuff. Even like John, who's John Sams. He's like one of my best friends. Like I like love him to death and like respect him. He's such an amazing artist. But there was so much about his life and his past that I didn't know because I met him when he moved to LA. But it's like you don't really, I guess when we meet people here, we don't really dive too deep into like what happened before they got here. So it's just been really cool to hear people's backstories, or like Boomcack, his name Juan, Boomcack MUA, he does his makeup as well. He's kind of like his day-to-day. And he has such an amazing story, and it's like, again, we hang out, we do makeup, we work together and stuff, or we traveled together sometimes, but I didn't know like his whole story. So it's been really cool to just like dive deeper into some of the faces and the people who like create the makeup industry, like, that do work on some of our favorite celebrities, like hearing their story and like how they got here, because I feel like a lot of times we're put in the background, and so I wanted to like shed light on their journeys, because a lot of them are like so powerful and like crazy. And so that's been really fun. And Carly Craig is she's producing it, so yeah, I'm excited to pick that back up. But I want to get Michelle Visage on there. I want to get my brand owners like Linda, owner of Morphe. I just have so many friends that Jeffrey, like I still have to pull Jeffrey on there. But
what has it been like working with Jeffrey? I mean, he's huge, and like, and what have you learned just by being around him and what he does?
Well, Jeffrey and I have been friends for many years. And so I actually, like, when I met him, he didn't even have a makeup line yet. He just was still so popular from like MySpace and the touring music world and that whole like kind of community. But it's been great. I mean, he has like completely opened my eyes to this like new world of makeup that's super fun and kind of fantasy. And he just, every product and collection has a full story. And that's like what I was saying, that's why I like storytelling. So it's been really cool to just be a part of his journey and like see where he's been able to grow himself. And, it's anytime you're in the public eye like that, it takes a really strong person to be able to navigate through that. And I just have a ton of respect for him as a businessman, as a friend, as a client, as all the things. He's my inspiration. He's always been my inspiration for makeup. He just isn't ever afraid to take risks. Like, he lets me do anything I want. And it's just nice to have clients like that that trust you, and he doesn't ask questions. Like, he's just like, this is the palette, and like, do your thing. And like, I can just freestyle. I don't have to, you know, present this plan and have all these like, you know, I don't know. I think it's really cool when someone just kind of lets you do you without any rules, you know?
Yeah, and that's trust, because like when I feel like we're very protective of like our hair, our makeup, our nails, like things like that. And when you can just sit and say, do what you please, I mean, that's really trusting someone and believing in them and knowing that they're not gonna make you look crazy.
Right. Yeah, no, and I'm always kind of like, oh my gosh, it's like so much pressure. Not that, sorry, not that anyone's putting pressure on me. It's just like what I feel, because I want to do a really good job all the time. So it's like constantly trying to top like everything that we do. It's like we do this crazy look, and then it's like, oh my God, then the next month I have to do something else, and I'm like, what else am I gonna do? Like, I don't know how to like top the last thing. But we always just try to, you know, push the boundaries, and yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, since we're in quarantine and, you know, we have time on our hands, what do you have any suggestions or tips for people? Because I feel like some people right now, they're in this like, they're teetering between, I'm just going to go a day without wearing anything. And then sometimes they maybe need to feel like a little normal and like maybe put on a little bit of makeup. Any suggestions or tips during this quarantine time to keep people a little sane?
Yeah.
And normal?
I mean, I think now is like a good, like kind of like what we were talking about earlier. It's a really good time to try something new. So if you want to try that like neon liner trend, or you know, you want to try freckles. Like, freckles are huge still. They're big every summer. You know, there's so many products out there that you can get those natural freckles and things like that. So I feel like it's a cool time to just try stuff. But yeah, I would say I know like what we're gonna see a lot of this summer is like washes of color, just like a single, like that's it, just on the lid. So if color scares you, I would, you know, try to experiment, and like maybe if that's the only shadow you put on, like try a different color, like a baby blue or like a lilac or something, just to kind of freshen it up and make it feel like different. Or like a colored mascara or something like that. But I just feel like trying to incorporate more color into your makeup, you know, in a subtle way that feels like really light and fresh, that could be your daytime look. It doesn't take any more effort to replace the gold with a lilac. It's the same one color. It's just, you know, like switching it out. So yeah, I think just not being afraid to try something new, and looking up like YouTube tutorials, and, you know, following your favorite artists right now, because everyone's going live, so you can interact with them and like actually, you know, write comments and stuff like people are doing right now. And I'm doing that with a lot of my like favorite musicians and stuff, are like on live every night, and I'm like and talking and stuff. It's really cool. So
Oh my God, during this time I have never seen so many people on. I have personally not been live as much as I have been since this quarantine thing. Like, I would look at everyone else's, but now I'm like, who can I go live with? Who can
let me
talk
do
to?
it. Yeah, I love that you're doing this too. It's really cool, and I'm glad you asked me to come, because I wanted to just like see you. We don't really get to talk that much, you know. I know we're both busy and just life, but thank you for having me.
Of course, and once this is over and I can give you another big hug, we'll sit, we'll talk, we'll eat, we'll play beer pong that you so gladly taught me how to do.
Yes.
I'm in full competition mode. Like, I'm ready. Like,
I'm always in competition mode when it comes to games. I'm like, all right, let's go. And everyone's like, it's supposed to be fun. Like, relax.
It's like, no, I'm winning.
No, we're gonna win. If we're gonna play, we're gonna win.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love you so much, babe. Yeah, you got it. Whatever you want. Beer pong. We can just kiki, like whatever.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. We're gonna do it, and I'm gonna check in on you, because, you know, I just want to make sure that you continue doing well, and that, you know, I'm around. If you ever need anything, you just let me know.
Okay, babe. You too.
All right. All right. Thank you, love. I appreciate you.
Of course. Bye.
Bye. Yay! All right, I absolutely love and adore her. She is absolutely amazing. If you guys want to learn how to do makeup or just want to follow someone who is just absolutely loving and beautiful and amazing and talented, Lipsticknick, you see her info right down there. Give her a shout, support her, and learn from her because she's amazing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Tell Me More with Tony Moore, and we will see you again very soon. And don't forget to follow me at Lounge with Tony. All right, bye everybody.